Facts Verse presents Her Dad Brought Home a Puppy, but it wasn't a puppy at all. There is no bigger surprise for a child than when their parents unexpectedly bring home a new pet. The pets are often adorable and they become an important part of the family. Well, Haley Hanstad's father decided that he would surprise her with a pet one day, and he wanted it to be a surprise. However, he never expected it to be as big of a surprise as it was. Her dad brought home a strange puppy, but look closely because that's not a regular dog. Before we get into the rest of this video, though, help us out by clicking that like button, and also be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. At the time, Haley was 5 years old. Her father Rick wanted to surprise the family by bringing home a tiny puppy who was in desperate need of care. Well, Rick grew up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. The whole family was accustomed to interacting with wildlife in the area on a fairly regular basis, so taking in a helpless creature was only really natural for the family. When Rick found this small creature, it looked like just a puppy, which is why he assumed that's what it was. This animal had the entire family tricked, though, until one day they found out the truth. That puppy wasn't a puppy at all. It was actually a baby coyote. Rather than turning the helpless animal over to animal control, though, the family decided to keep him and raise him as their pet. They decided to name the coyote Wile, as in Wile E. Coyote from the Roadrunner cartoons. I get it. Anyway, Rick knew that wild coyotes were dangerous, but if this animal was raised in a happy home and cared for, he was sure that they could make it work. The family thought that they were prepared for Wile's antics. However, they had no idea what they were in for. Wile was a bit rougher when playing than a typical dog would be. Right from the very beginning, Haley and Wile were inseparable. Rick was amazed at how this wild animal became domesticated so quickly. While he was rough at first, he became more and more calm and collected as the days went on. In a short time, Haley and Wile did everything together, and it wasn't long before everybody around them began to notice. They played together, they snuggled together, they loved each other. It was as if Wile was a typical house dog. Most people would be skeptical of somebody adopting a coyote, but the family was lucky with Wile. He made a significant impact on their family. However, there were some challenges. For starters, Wile wouldn't bathe himself. That's because in the wild, the mother coyotes would handle that task. Since he lost his mother at a young age, he wasn't able to experience that. And he also refused to eat raw meat. He wanted all of his meals cooked to perfection. Since most coyotes hunt and scavenge for their food, that behavior was definitely strange. Wile's diet would consist mostly of fried eggs and venison. But Wile never attacked the family, that's great. In fact, he became just like any other domesticated dog. He even loved being held like a pet, and he was a natural in front of the camera. The family took Wile on regular walks, and he loved it. They knew that they couldn't walk him on the street because people would probably be scared. Instead, they would take long walks in the forest behind their home. To make Wile more comfortable, Rick created an enclosure outside the home, complete with plants and a burrowing hole. This was a refuge for Wile in case he needed a break or if he wanted to channel his inner coyote. Experts believe that wild animals are not suited for domestic lives, but Wile is apparently the exception to the rule. He found his place with his family, and he's a perfect fit. Rick understands that he may want to feel like a coyote from time to time, which is why they've given him that enclosure for when those needs arise. For the most part, though, he snuggles with Haley in her bed or on the couch, just like any domesticated dog would do. According to Rick, Wile is a very good boy. He loves his family, and the family couldn't imagine their life without him. Wile is a fantastic animal who put the call of the wild aside for the love of a family. Subscribe for more.